Well, hello and welcome. This is Jeff Hooks. It is my privilege to welcome all of you to our VNI partner training for this Saturday, January 11th. And this training is entitled Creating a Breakthrough 2020 Part 2, Part Dos. Part 1 was last Saturday. So I didn't announce that for a couple of reasons. I won't get into the details there. I didn't announce that this was a two-part training because I just want everybody to plug in and to all of our events. Those partners like all of you that have a vision for 2020, that have a goal, that have a commitment. It's one thing, a goal without a commitment is just a wish, but a goal or a dream matched with a commitment is something real. And I know all of you have that combination in some way, shape, or form. You've got a dream. You've got a vision, you've got things you want to accomplish in 2020. And the VNI mission, the VNI business model, the VNI products are obviously part. You've selected VNI, as I have, as a vehicle to help you get where you want to go. And so when you match that and you combine that vision, that dream, with a commitment, which of course is a willingness to do something, the dream plus the commitment, the willingness to do something, creates unlimited opportunities. And so in the spirit of that, last week, we're not going to really cover anything except we'll do some drive-bys on some of the key fundamentals. But if you missed last week's training, Creating a Breakthrough 2020 Part 1, it's already posted in your back office, and it's already posted on your VNI Life App. And so you've got, I would encourage you that today's training is still going to be relevant, but I would encourage you to go through that training literally more than once. You could do 10 minutes a day for a week, for 6 days. And it's also loaded up again on your VNI Life app. So we've got all the content there. You can build your entire VNI business from your smartphone or from your tablet. I hope you realize that. You don't have to go to other websites. You don't actually even need to go to your back office. Even though we give you some additional tools, you literally can build your entire business from your smartphone or your tablet with the VNI Life app. So Creating a Breakthrough 2020 Part 2. I'm going to do a quick drive-by on two principles that I hope, for those of you that are leaders and emerging leaders, I hope this comes across like a broken record. And I say that with a smile and with love and respect. As I share these two things, I hope, some of you are going to say, now our trainings are always informal. So instead of driving you crazy by clearing my throat and driving me crazy, I'm going to take a sip of water every once in a while. All right. So I'm going to repeat something for the leaders. Now, if you're brand new, you've never heard it. I went deeper last week on Creating a Breakthrough 2020 Part 1. But I'm going to come back through it this week because it's that important. And that's the importance of staying plugged in. Now, again, for some of you leaders that we've been locked arms now for many, 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 many months. You're going to say, wow, Jeff, how many times can you say that? It's critical for all of us. You remember that sometimes we always know what to do, but we need encouragement and inspiration to remind us of the importance, number one, of what to do, and number two, that, hey, you and I can do it. We can do it. So, for example, let's face it, the weight loss formula, the formula for every single one of us, myself included, to be healthier in 2020, to live with more vitality, perhaps to continue losing weight, is very simple. Eat better, exercise more. Next subject. If we want to get really specific, eat raw foods, eat lean proteins, cut out sugar, cut out white flour, cut out the bad carbs. Good carbs are the fruits and vegetables. And exercise at least 4 or 5 times a week. Get plenty of sleep, drink plenty of clean water. If every one of us follows that simple plan, we're going to be healthier in 2020 than we were in 2019. So the same concept holds true in your VNI business. Some of these same principles, it's not like when everything, whether it's Ed and Gina Bender, whether it's Ken Nasmitz, whether it's Cynthia Sauer, whether it's Lisa Turner, whether it's Rebecca Sidden, whether it's Mike Boston, whoever, any of our leaders sharing information, it's not like they're going to always, unless you're brand new, but if it's not like they're going to, we're going to share information that's like, wow, I never thought of that. It's just, the key is applying what you learned. Learn, apply, and teach. We talked about that a little bit last week. So creating a breakthrough 2020 part 2. Number 1, stay plugged in, just like you're doing today. Stay plugged into the calls, stay plugged into the events, stay plugged into your VNI Life app, stay plugged into your upline success coaches. It really does take a vision, a village rather. It takes a village. It takes a vision too. It takes a vision and a village. So in other words, don't be the Lone Ranger. Don't isolate yourself. The beautiful thing about this business, the beautiful thing about Victory Nutrition International and this mission as a partner is with our technology, with the VNI Life app, with the modern phone, with technologies like we're using today, Zoom, and other, video technologies, webinar technologies. The world is much smaller. The United States, Canada, North America is much smaller, which means you can literally build your VNI empire from your sofa. I mean, I'm in my home office. Now, I could give you all a better backdrop. I've actually got a green screen that Gina and Ed blessed me with, or I can't remember if Gina and Ed did. I think Gina and Ed gave it to me. But at the end of the day, you don't have to be formal. If I wanted to give you a formal background, I would get in a different seat in my office and let you see the hutch behind me. But in other words, be relaxed. You've got all the tools at your fingertips. All the VNI Life app, folks. All this professional content is for teaching, for training, for sharing, is at your fingertips. All of it. And the marketing team's purpose. Our head of marketing had a strategic planning call with Gina and Ed Bender yesterday and me at 2:00 yesterday afternoon. Had a great exchange of ideas. The whole purpose for the VNI Life app, thank you, Heather. I love it. The whole purpose of the VNI Life app is to make, I'm going to speak frankly, is to make you look good. You already look good, but it's to make you look professional. You already are professional. But no matter what your background is, you can plug into proven tools that are created by experts and use those tools, leverage those tools to share information and educate people on the VNI products and the VNI business. So staying plugged in basically means don't isolate. I call it, some of you have heard me say it before, I call it Lone Ranger syndrome. And or said differently, it's the rugged individualist. And I'll be candid with you because I can do this. It's usually men that do that. It's usually men that are going to pull the Frank Sinatra. They want to be able to get up on stage and sing, "I did it my way." And the problem is they never get on stage. The problem is they did it their way, and guess what? They didn't have the results they wanted. So I love Frank Sinatra, but there's only one. There's only one Frank Sinatra, and so we want you to plug in. You still to have your unique abilities, your skills, your personality, your giftings. We all have giftings, and we all have weaknesses or areas that need to be developed. And so it's all about the team. So I'm going to give you a leadership tip that's not even in my preparation. If you want to explode your VNI business in January, let alone 2020, but in January, you find somebody new. Find a new partner to run with locally. Write that down. That's worth the price of admission. That's worth your ticket price to the theme park today. If you commit and when you bring on a partner, a new partner, I'll say it one more time, a new partner, when you bring on a new partner locally that wants to run with you, that synergy of 1 + 1 does not equal 2. It equals 4, 5, 10, 20. It depends on your vision and your passion and how hard you want to hit this. So stay plugged in. Don't isolate. Don't be the Lone Ranger, and look for one person to run with locally. You can do that. You can do that in the next couple of weeks if you commit to it. You really can. So stay plugged in, number one. Number two, do something positive every day to build and grow your VNI business. Folks, don't confuse activity with productivity. You want to focus on sharing. Share VNI with at least one new person a day. Okay, 1 a day, 5 in play. We talked about that last week, so go back through that training. I've said it before. Go back through those trainings, that last week's training, a couple of times, at least. You can go back. You can fast forward. You can go to a certain part and watch it over and over if wherever you're focused. But I'm gonna make a bold statement. If you'll master what we talked about last week, and what we talked about last week, and what we're going to cover today, and you go through these 2 trainings over and over, get with your upline success coach with questions, get with me with questions, but you focus that over the next 60 to 90 days and learn the information, apply it, and then over time you'll be prepared to teach it. Learn, apply, teach. If you'll go through the training from last week and today, and you'll apply it and stick with it, be consistent, stay plugged in, do something positive every day to grow your business. 5-6 days a week, take the weekends off if you want. It's your business. That's the beautiful thing about it. But if you'll do that, you're going to have a breakthrough 2020. And I think most of you know this, but I was asked to share this for perspective. Even though I serve as, and I use that word on purpose, I serve as your president and COO. My job, along with the corporate team, is to equip and empower you to reach your dreams and your goals with VNI. VNI is a vehicle. Our amazing products, our amazing brand, our amazing platform, we are a vehicle to help you get where you want to go. And my job is to serve you with the corporate team. And we're always working on that. We're not perfect, but we're making progress every day. It's about progress, not perfection. And that's the same thing we want to encourage you to apply in with your VNI business. Focus on progress. You're going to make mistakes just like I do and just like we do. We all make mistakes, but the idea is to get better, be a little bit better. I love what Will, exactly. Action without thinking. So, leadership is action and adjustment, An imperfect plan put into action, to Will's point, an imperfect plan, I believe that's Will Raines. An imperfect plan put into action today is better than a perfect plan put into action tomorrow. Write that one down. Dovetailing off of Will's wisdom. Okay? An imperfect plan put into action today. Make a phone call, share VNI with a new person today. An imperfect plan put into action today is better than perfection tomorrow or down the road. Because, by the way, there is no such thing as perfection this side of heaven. Only one person was perfect. And I hope you know who that is, but we won't go there. All right, Jesus. So anyway, the idea, and just to sum this up, the idea is stay plugged in, because we don't want you to, again, I've used this example before, and because I learned it from somebody else smarter than me, but think about your smartphone or your computer, your laptop, your tablet. What would happen if you didn't plug it in at least every day or two? It would die. It would fade away, and it wouldn't turn on. It wouldn't work. We're the same way. We need to plug in to get filled up. We need to plug in to get filled up so we can go out and spill all over the world in a good way. Okay, think about that. We want to get plugged. We want to get filled up, so as we go out there sharing and carrying VNI with the world that needs it, we can spill all over everybody in a good way. Okay, so stay plugged in, and then do something positive every day, recognizing that there's a compounding effect of our daily habits. If you get in the habit, if you'll commit to making at least, again, 1 a day, 5 in play, or 2 a day, 10 in play, if you really want to make something happen on a part-time basis. If you really want to make something happen, you can go beyond 2, but I don't want to scare anybody away. You could literally, with a commitment of 3 to 5 hours a week, you could implement 2 a day, 10 in play, and build an amazing business this year. Okay. Now, here's what I was going to cover before: the compounding effect of daily habits. The reason I can speak with passion and some degree of expertise in encouraging you with these principles is because I'm serving as president and COO now. I also serve on the board of directors. But in my career in this space with products that didn't hold a candle to what we have, I've built serious businesses. As an owner, I was a founding shareholder of a company that we took to over 100 million a year in sales in the 90s. I've been an executive. I was a founding shareholder and executive of that company. I've consulted. I've been a distributor/partner and built businesses multiple times from scratch. So I've built on 4 occasions, I've built businesses from scratch to beyond our Crown Ambassador level, way beyond it, candidly. And so the reason I share that with you is I'm not, we're not making this up. Gene and Ed Bender and I have known each other for 23 years, maybe 23 years. So we're not winging it. So I want you to understand when I share with you, like I did last week, I know I stepped on toes. When I share with you, cold market doesn't work. It's because I care about you and I want you to be successful. If it worked, why wouldn't I teach it? Think about that. Why wouldn't your upline teach it? Now, define work. Work means, can you go out and spend money on leads and ads? Can you work cold market? Can you cold call and bring on a customer or partner? Of course. But when I say it doesn't work, I mean it doesn't duplicate, it doesn't scale, and it doesn't create volume that lasts. When you look at it, that's the bottom line. It doesn't duplicate, it doesn't scale, meaning creating growing volume that lasts. And that's why we don't teach it. Now, are there exceptions? Yes. If you sponsor into your VNI business, I'm going to give you a high level but true example. Excuse me. If you sponsor an individual, a man or woman that owns a digital marketing business, and they've got access to tools, technologies, and databases that nobody else has, are we going to ignore that because it's not part of the plan? Of course not. No, when that happens, call me and I'll help you put a plan together with that new partner. But we just recognize that when we leverage those unique resources that won't duplicate, because not everybody has access to those blessings, those assets, once we use that to bring on customers and partners, then we implement the program with those customers and partners, because that's not going to duplicate, because not everybody has access to special technologies or huge databases, et cetera. Does that make sense? So I don't want to go down too far down a rabbit trail, but the bottom line is, I'm not winging this. I'm not making it up. I want to help you create a breakthrough 2020. I'm committed, along with your upline success coaches, every member of this team, to help you grow. And I owe it to you to be direct and honest, always respectful, but direct and honest. Because I don't want to cheer you on if I think if I know from experience you're heading off a cliff. Yay, you got it. Good job. Because all that's doing is having you push the accelerator down faster as you're heading over the cliff. I want you to do what I know works. And we're never going to teach, me, Gina, Ed, none of the leaders, Ken Nasmith's, none of the leaders are going to teach. Mike and Heather Dannenberg, nobody's going to teach unproven methodologies here. This is not a testing ground. This is you when you bring your partners into the business and they join your team and you plug them into this training, we owe it to you to teach proven principles that we know will replicate, that average people just like me and just like you, good people with a desire and a willingness to put forth some effort can do it. Okay. So stay plugged in and do something positive every day. Again, it's the compounding effect of those daily habits. Now, for those of you, this is really going to resonate for those of you that are watching the recordings of these 2 trainings. So you might be watching them back to back in the same evening or the same day. You might be watching them back to back in 2 different days. So this is going to pick up on last week's training in the context that if you're brand new, we're covering a lot of ground. Okay, we're covering a lot of ground. That's why repetition. We want you to go through this information more than once. We want you to call your upline success coaches with questions. Call me with questions. Okay, Will Raines took me up on that. Will Raines and I had a strategy session with Christina or Tina last Monday, I guess it was, after Saturday's training. I'm available. I'm here to help those that are, now full disclosure, I'm available for those that have an oar in their hand and are rowing. For those that are sitting on the couch studying, God bless you, but I call those customers. Customers are partners in training. It doesn't mean I'm not going to make time for you, but enjoy taking the product. And when you're ready to put an oar in your hand and start rowing, call me. Okay, that's the way this thing works. It's not, I can't do it for you. Your sponsor, your upline success coach can't do it for you, but we can do it with you. Okay, I'm doing multiple launch events this upcoming week. I'm really excited about it. One of Lisa Turner's new leaders, Mary Baczynski, we're doing a launch event for her Tuesday night, I believe, a Zoom launch event. So a lot of good stuff happening, and we want you to be a part of it. So again, creating a breakthrough 2020. So remember, especially if you're newer in the business, as you're going through the learning curve, remind yourself this. I'm going to give you a home plate. This is going to be kind of your ground zero to come back and tag if you're getting overwhelmed. At the end of the day, as a partner with VNI, you do three things: use the products, share the products, and teach others to do the same. Use, share, and teach. Now, the reality is, I say this on the Thursday night product and business overviews, if you just want to build a customer base, which is beautiful. If a partner wants to just build a customer base, you could go out and over time create a very nice residual cash flow. But just recognize you're not going to go executive director and beyond. You're not going to go envoy and be on a dream vacation with us, which we want you to do if that's your goal, with just a customer base, because you have to build a team. So you build a customer base and a team. And we've already talked about it's a sorting process. So it's just as easy to build a team as it is to build a customer base. You're sharing and caring. You're sharing VNI. And when you invite people to learn about VNI and you share the information and you follow up, invite, share, follow up. Wow, Jeff, you're repeating yourself so much. Yes, I am. So I want you to do what I'm repeating, and I want you to teach what I'm repeating. Learn, apply, teach. You can go back. I challenge you with love and respect. You go back from your back office, you go back to a training from a year and a half ago when I first came on full-time serving in this role. And you go back to a training and see if any of the principles and concepts that we taught and that I taught back then conflict with what I'm saying right now. There's a challenge. Why? Because it works. Because I've proven with inferior products and I'm not going to say that we've got everything in place with VNI, and this works if you'll learn it, if you'll apply it, and if you'll teach it. The problem is many of our partners are plugging into these trainings and then they're going out and doing other stuff, and then they can't figure out why their business isn't growing. Okay, and again, I've been there, so I can share with empathy. Don't try to be Frank Sinatra. I hope your vision is not to stand on stage and say, I did it my way, because I want you to be on stage. I want to be applauding. Ed and Gina and I want you to be on the Onboard experience with us next year. Bill and Kim want you to be, I promise you. The corporate team does. But you've got to be wise enough to humble yourself and follow a path of those who've gone before, who've done what you want to do. And again, that doesn't mean you still got your unique abilities, your personality, your giftings, your skill sets, your attributes that make you uniquely you. You've got things I'm going to learn from you big time, but I'm not going to learn how to build a business from you. I'm going to learn other things from you. I'm going to learn communication skills, heart, empathy, book recommendations, Heather Dannenberg. We're going to learn from each other. But I promise you right now, I'm not going to learn from you how to build a business. that's where you got to learn from me, or you can keep trying it your way and keep me posted. So I'm not trying to be strong. I'm trying to encourage you that there's hope. Anybody that joins your VNI team, they're bringing into your VNI family, our VNI family. They're bringing fear, doubt, worry, hesitation, and they want 2020 to be better than 2019, and they want 2021 to be better than 2020, but they're looking for faith, hope, and a plan. And if we just throw a bunch of information up on the wall and let them sort through it to figure out what to do, that doesn't work. We have to say, here's the roadmap. Here's the roadmap. First thing you want to do is this. Second thing you want to do is this. And in order to do that, you've got to know the roadmap. So that's what these trainings are for. And there's some other things we're working on that we're going to unveil first quarter that I'm real excited about, but I'm not going to cover now. I'm going to cover on the directors and above training or event, the Go Envoy training later this month. So back to home plate, simplifying it. I want you to circle this, use a highlighter and circle it in your notes and come back to it and tag it every once in a while when you need to. If you feel overwhelmed, if you listen to the product call and you hear our amazing founder and CEO and co-founder and head of research and development, or any of our scientists covering information that gets really complex, remind yourself that all I got to do is twist the top off, shake it up, pour an ounce, drink it, and I've just blessed my body with nutrition that gets in. I don't have to understand all these botanicals and all these ingredients. We've got scientists that do that. I don't have to understand proteasome technology to be blessed by it. So home base is this. The way to reach your dreams with VNI is, number one, to use the products every day. Use the products every day. Remind yourself of that and remind your partners of that and your customers, of course. But in terms of building a business, use the products every day. Share the products. And we've got the tools that do the heavy lifting for that. The VNI Life App being the main platform. Use, share, and then if you want, and you can just do that once again and build a beautiful customer base. But if you want to work smart and create a real volume and a real cash flow, then you need to build a team of partners that are using and sharing. Okay? And that's where teach others to do the same comes into play. So home base for you, as you're going through the learning curve, as you're going associate manager, executive manager, director, and beyond, home base is use the products, share the products, and teach others to do the same. Now, what about when you're in the exposure process? You're sharing VNI with a contact or somebody you meet or somebody you're referred to. All right, and they ask you, invite, share, follow up. Wow, Jeff, you're being so repetitive. Exactly. We can't duplicate ourselves if we don't say the same things, if they're proven principles. We can't replicate. Doesn't mean our personalities are the same, but people don't duplicate. Processes duplicate. Principles to duplicate. Invite, share. Anybody, think about that. We just talked about use, share, teach others to do the same. Anybody can shake up a Protivite or pull out a Protivite moment or take Brain Reward or take Enzorb. Anybody can do it, and the product's going to work for them just the same way it's going to work for you and me. Okay? So it's not dependent on my personality or your charisma. The product works. Okay? What about the VNI Life App? The VNI Life App works the same way if you share the information as if Gina Bender shares or Ed Bender shares the information, or Ken Nasmitz, or Mike and Heather Dannenberg, or Mike Boston, or Rebecca Sidden, or Cynthia Sauer, or Lisa Turner, or Cynthia Rose, on and on and on. It works the same. Our platform doesn't say, oh, wait a minute, this is Mary instead of Susan, or Bob instead of Craig, so I'm not going to work the same way. It's a level playing field. And so use, share, and teach others to do the same. So when let's back to that example. Let's say you've shared VNI with someone. Invite, share, follow up. And you're following up and you're asking questions. Hey, what did you like about what you saw and heard? You know, what are your health and wellness goals for the new year? What are your career, your financial goals? Have you set some, what do you want to accomplish in 2020 to make it better than 2019? You can you can ask, prepare some open-ended questions that fit your personality and memorize them. Take 30 minutes one day and just write down good questions, health-related questions, business-related questions. Health-related questions could be, hey, you know, and I've taught some of these in the past, but I mean, it could be, I'm just winging some. It could literally, it's January, so it's so natural to talk about New Year's goals, New Year's resolutions. You know, as you head into the new year, what's your wellness plan? Have you set any health and wellness goals for yourself? What I mean by that is, and then you're engaging. Remember, we've talked about it in the past. Make a friend, find a need, transfer the feeling. Make a friend, find a need or desire, and transfer the feeling. Because the VNI is the products and our business is a vehicle to help people get where they want to go. Better health physically, better health financially. That's our mission, to help people live life better, physically and financially. That's who we are. Those are assisting people in becoming beacons of health, hope, and abundance. Okay, if we simplify that, it's blessing people physically with our proprietary unique products, nutrition that gets in. Unique, not found anywhere else in the world, backed by unprecedented scientific validation. And we want to help people financially with a business model that's extraordinarily lucrative, and they can build it part-time without quitting their day job. Without going out and raising money or draining their savings account. That's who we are, and that's what we are. So when you're in the sharing process, invite, share, follow up. You invite somebody to learn about the product, share the information using the VNI Life App. You follow up. The next step is, just like we talked about last week, give some more information, plug them into the Thursday night event, forward them recording of the Thursday night event. Folks, if y'all will start doing implement these principles, they work. They really do. Keep it simple. The challenge is too many of our beloved partners are not doing the same thing. They're just kind of trying. We're experimenting out there in the marketplace. You don't need to experiment. You don't need to try to figure this thing out. Just learn, apply, and teach. My last network, as what we call a partner, was with products that can't hold a candle. I've said it before, I'll say it again, to VNI, and that's the truth. It's an absolute irrefutable statement. But I went out and built with a team over the course of 4.5 years, 70,000 active subscriptions. So that means 70,000 people consuming the product every month, every day, every month, in 40 countries around the world. My business was doing just under 5 million a month in sales. So that's just under 10 times Crown Ambassador volume. So the reason I share that is, imagine what you and I are going to do, what we're going to do with the VNI platform. We turn 6 years old next week. So we don't have, when we're out there sharing VNI, product or business, we don't have to worry about, is this company going to be here? I call it the best of both worlds. We've got a rock solid foundation, okay, a 6-year track record, unprecedented scientific validation, amazing products, patent pending. We've got an amazing compensation plan that's been paying people for 6 years. We've paid out millions and millions of dollars. We've got 6-figure earners, but we're just getting started. So we've got a rock solid foundation, but we're young and fast growing. So folks, that's the best of both worlds. So when you're sharing and somebody says, invite, share, follow up, and you're in that follow-up discussion, and someone says, tell me more, I'm trying to figure out if I want to do this business. Okay. Tell me more about that. Do you have an answer? Mark. Yeah, I shake mine before I take the lid off too. Thank you. I'm assuming I said take the lid off, shake it up. I've said 3,000 words and you caught the one mistake. Thank you. Appreciate that. But no, obviously you shake up. So again, pay attention to what you're listening for. If you're trying to catch me in a mistake, you're going to probably get a lot, but that's not going to help you grow your business. So don't take the lid. Mark, thank you for that. Don't take the lid off. Don't take the cap off before you shake it. I made a mistake. I think I said take it off and then shake it. All right. So back to the question. You've asked me, or I've asked you. Let's say you've shared VNI with me, and I asked you, tell me about building a business. Do you have an answer for that? Think about that. What would you say? If you've invited me to learn about the VNI products, you've shared the information using the VNI Life app. Maybe you followed up and shared more information. Hey, the next step is I'm going to shoot you a product PDF. Maybe I was really interested in the Protobite where you shake it up before you take the top off. And you forward me maybe the short video on Protobite, whatever it is. And then you follow back up and I say, hey, listen, Mark, Will, Cynthia, Ed and Gina, Heather, Mike, tell me about this business. Okay, that is an opening, y'all. No, Mark, thank you. I truly am teasing. Truly am teasing. Recognize, and this is so important, folks. I was thinking about this morning in preparation. Think about how do you respond to that? When somebody expresses, it might not even be an interest. Stay with me here. And Mark, I promise you, it's all good. Think about this. When someone expresses not even an interest, a curiosity in the VNI business, in the mission, how we do this, I want you to prepare your response, because that's an opportunity. That's an opportunity that you work for. That's an opportunity. And so remember the use, share, and teach others. Okay, use, share, teach others. That is going to need to be, I would encourage you to consider this from my experience. That needs to be your basic answer. Okay, so y'all stay with me here. I'm going to give you a couple scenarios. So scenario one, or scenario A, is what we don't want to do. Okay, so you share VNI with me. I ask you a question. Tell me more about that business. Okay, what we don't want to do, this is option A. What we don't want to do is fire hose me in that example, that role play. You don't want to fire hose me with information. Well, what you do is you recognize that Protobite, the absorption technology, that Protobite has over 95 botanicals in the product, and it's patent pending. And what's amazing is we've got 48 peer-reviewed clinical studies on the product. Brain Reward itself has 3 patents. The Protobite's patent pending. The Enzorb, let's see, let me think. The Protobite's patent pending. I'm role playing. The Enzorb is patent pending. And then we've got the Equigen, the Restoragen. The Equigen is my formula, which is one of the Restoragen, DNA designed precision nutrition, the nutrition that gets in, and you take 6 Brain Rewards and 3 of the Restoragen. Again, the Equigen's my Restoragen formula because of the DNA test, which is a swab test. It's patented, and you put the swab in, and then you do, and what we do is we take these products that are unlike, they're the best products in the world. By the way, everything that was just said in that role play is true. And you take these products, and the world needs these products because 75% of North American adults are already spending their money on supplements that don't work. And so we've got products that work. And what you do is you take these products, nutrition that gets in, and the patent pending, you get the idea. You've only got one chance to advance that curiosity in a positive direction. Okay? You follow me? You only... Mark, I got it. Now I got it. Yeah, this is good stuff. See, I can be coachable too. All right. So, by the way, Mark, and didn't mention last name. Mark was not trying to catch me in a mistake. I totally missed it. Sometimes chat, as we all know, is not the most effective. It's not we can't see body language and tone of voice. So, in that role play, you've only got one chance when you're sharing to advance the curiosity. And you don't want to do it in a Machiavellian way. We want to do it with integrity, obviously, because we're looking for people that are looking. Better health physically, better health financially. It's a sorting process, not a convincing process. But we do want to share our information effectively. And that's where the more we share, the better we get. So that was option A, the fire hose approach. Okay, we don't want to do it. We want to keep it simple. Option B, I ask you the same question. I say, tell me a little bit more about how being a partner, how that would work. Because I mean, I would like to make some extra income. I've got some credit card debt. Tell me a little bit more about how that works. Well, this is you. Well, Jeff, great question. The fundamental building block for our partners to create a profitable business is first to use the products every day. Now, you don't have to engage with all the products, but you pick the products that you want to get started with, and you take them every day. And then we'll teach you how to share the products with others. And we've got the technology, we've got things that make it real simple to do that. And then if you want to build a team, we'll teach others how to use and share. So it's use, share, and teach others to do the same. That's it. That's it for now. Remember, it's a process. Don't fire hose. Say less to more people. Okay? So think about that. When partners, when you're having a discussion where someone's curious or interested in the possibility, that's the word I was looking for. Woo. When someone's interested in the possibility of creating a cash flow, of engaging in this mission with us with VNI, whether they know it or not, I want you to write these down. They're asking themselves when they're dialoguing, they're asking, and like, so back to that role play when you were sharing VNI with me, and in the follow-up, I expressed curiosity about the business. We have to acknowledge, and I want you to realize that they're asking, I'm asking, can I trust you? Do you care about me? Can I do this? In other words, can I do what you're doing? So if you're taking an hour and a half with every one of your shares and getting into all the complexities, trying to be a mini Bill Downs, when I ask myself, the person you're talking to, can I do this? They're going to say no. So a lot of times people, when someone's having, when a partner's having challenges attracting other partners, one of the things you want to look at is, what are you doing? Because realize when you're sharing, the person you're talking to, whether they articulate it or not, they're asking those questions. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Can I do this? If you just share a video from a VNI Life app, it's the push of 2 buttons. And then you follow up and say, hey, what'd you think? And I ask myself, can I do this? I can do that. Anybody can do that. But if you sit down with me for an hour and a half and try to do your best imitation of Bill Downs with love and respect, I'm telling you, it's not going to work. So I'm asking you, back to that role play, I'm asking, can I do this? And can I do what you just did? Or can I do what you're doing? Okay, folks, there's for our top pen level leaders that are plugged in, we got a big call today. This is secret sauce stuff. This has taken me decades to learn. So that's why I want you to go through this information more than once. And the other thing I'm asking, this is the last one, is will this help me? Will VNI help me get where I want to go? Okay, will VNI help me get where I want to go? So can I trust you? Do you care about me? Can I do this? In other words, can I do what you're doing right now to me? Do I want to do what you're doing to me? That's why you want to keep it simple. And will this, VNI, will this help me get where I want to go? Okay, remember, make a desire, transfer the feeling. So find a need or desire. Will this help me get where I want to go? And when you're sharing, recognize, this is a mentor of mine used to teach me this, recognize everyone is tuned into a radio station WIFM. I want you to remember that. This is, and Gene and Ed Bender, Ken Rudd used to teach me this all the time. He used to share this with me in the early 90s. A mentor of mine that's now in heaven. Love him. But he used to say, everybody's tuned in to a very special, unique radio station, a radio station with the call letters WIFM, all capitals, of course. And what that stands for, WIF is in Frank, M, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? So when you're sharing, it's very normal for all of us when we're going through a learning curve, when we're learning new information, it's very natural to get into the details and to be in our own head because I want to share the information that I'm learning. But make sure you have the context to make sure it's really not about you or me. It's about the person you're sharing with. They're tuned into the radio station. What's in it for me? How can this help me get where I want to go? If you'll remember that, it's going to help you. It's going to help you big time. So as you're sharing, prepare yourself when someone expresses curiosity or interest in the possibility of the VNI business, of joining your team as a partner. I want you to prepare with your upline success coach and practice your response. Okay? And I would encourage you to use, share, and teach others as the track to run on. So tell me more about that business. How does it work? Remember, when they ask that question, that's an opportunity. Are you going to fire hose them? You got a fork in the road. You're going to fire hose them and start trying to be mini Bill Downs and get into proteasome and absorption technology and biochemistry and liposome, proteasome, blah, blah, blah. Things come together like this and two hands clapping and all the brilliant things that our visionary founder teaches us. Or you're going to keep it simple and be effective. Okay, that's the key. That's the key. We've got videos that communicate at least a small part of Bill's brilliance. But the most important part of Bill and Steve and our scientific advisory board's brilliance is just to consume the product. So we use the products, we share them. We've got tools that do all the work for us, and then we teach others to use and share. That's how we do it. You can build it 1 or 2 hours a week or all the way to full time, whatever fits your lifestyle and your commitment, your goals. That's great. You want to learn more. Okay, great. The next step is I want to put you on the phone with one of my upline success coaches or with the president of the company, and they'll answer some questions for you, and we'll talk about putting a plan together. How's that sound? Okay, so you lead people through the process. But always remember, when they ask that question, what they're really saying, tell me more about, okay, what they say is this. Tell me more about that VNI, the business. How does that work? I do have some goals, some financial goals for this year. I've always wanted to own my own business, whatever the truth is and whatever they say. Tell me a little bit more. What they're really saying is, can I trust you? Do you care about me? Can I do this? And will this help me get where I want to go? Radio station WIFM, what's in it for me? Okay? Now, the how-to of the business. We're heading down the home stretch. We should be done by 12. Okay. How do we do the business, y'all? Keep it really, really simple. Really, really simple. If you distill all of the trainings from all of our top leaders in terms of what works, obviously, here's how you build a business. Number one, decide what you want. Decide what you want. Where we talk about this pretty much every week. Where do you want your VNI business to take you? Where do you want to go in your own life? What's your vision? What's your dream? If we were to get together and have a cup of coffee 3 years from today, what would need to happen in your VNI business for you to be pleased with your progress? If we were to get together 3 years from today, January 11th, 2023, what would need to happen in your VNI business in order for you to be pleased with your progress? So decide what you want. Number two, build a list. We've got a training of the VNI Life App actually has a built-in list creator that does it for you from your contacts from your phone. Build a list. Remember, it's a sorting process, not a convincing process. Our job is not to sell and recruit. It's to share and expose. It's to share the VNI product, share the VNI story, share the VNI mission. Some people are going to be interested in the products and the health benefits. Some are going to be interested in the products and creating a cash flow. So they'll engage as a partner. And some are going to say thanks, but no thanks. That's okay. And we'll talk about that in another training. But there's no dead end. No means no for now. And it's usually based on what's going on in their life. And the only time I close that door off is if somebody's rude or disrespectful. If they're rude, it's your business. You say, hey, you know what? I'm taking you off the list. God bless you. I wish you the best. Don't try to convince them. Just set them free. Some will, some won't. So what next? We treat everybody with love and respect, but don't bang your head against the wall trying to commit, a negative person, negative Ned. I had to look and see if we had any Neds because there's no, don't try to convince. Say less to more people. It's a sorting process, not a convincing process. So decide what you want, build a list. Don't prejudge. You'll never know who's going to engage with the products and build a business. And just recognize it's not your job. It's a sorting process. Don't try to prophesy. Sometimes the people you think that will jump on the products and be so excited, or jump on the business and want to go to work with you, sometimes you're going to think they're going to immediately respond, and they don't. And that person that you almost didn't want to share it with becomes one of your top leaders. You never know. Trust me on that. That's from experience. So you don't prejudge, but you do prioritize. Now let me give you a little tip here. Sometimes, out of that, coming from a place of love, what our new partners do is they immediately start sharing the products with the sickest people they know. And when I say sick, I mean literally the physically sick, sometimes even in an advanced disease state. And I'm not saying don't do that. Of course, I'm not saying that. We're all about sharing and caring. These products will bless anybody that will consume them. But that's not the best way to build a business. Okay, so I'm not saying don't do that, but I am saying prioritize. Don't prejudge, but prioritize. You want to grow your business fast, share the VNI products with people that have vitality, that care about their health. Maybe they have a New Year's resolution and they want to lose weight. Maybe they're like me. I used to be I was a scholarship collegiate athlete, and I'm not. I don't have the physique or the vitality that I once had as a 54-year-old, but I know I can do better. So I'm looking to make improvements. I've got a vision, I've got a goal, I've got a desire to improve my health. And I'm already supplementing. Maybe look for people that care about their health. They exercise. They could be a weekend warrior. They could be golfers. They could be tennis players. They could garden. They have a goal to lose weight. I always prioritize from your contacts that a list of people that put them in the health and wellness category, and then put another list. Prioritize. Again, you're not prejudging, but you're prioritizing. Who's a self-starter? Who's an entrepreneur? Who's got influence? Who's got great communication skills? Who's a go-getter? Who's money motivated? Who's a dissatisfied successful? That's a great one, great category. In other words, they're very accomplished at whatever they do. They could be a school teacher, an engineer, a salesperson, a football coach. They're very successful in what they do, but they're dissatisfied. They're ready for a new challenge. They don't like who they work with or for. Dissatisfied successfuls. Some of my strongest leaders over the decades have come from that description. Dissatisfied successfuls. And then it's so number one, decide what you want. Number two, build a list. Recognize that's not what you do when you're brand new and you never do it again. That's an ongoing tool. You want to constantly, as you meet new people, add to your contact list. You got to circulate to percolate. You're living life. You're meeting people. You're making new friends. That doesn't mean you immediately pitch them on VNI. It means you're focused on relationships first. Always make a friend. Then find a need or desire over time, and then transfer the feeling. In other words, you share VNI when you're ready. Don't feel this artificial, self-induced obligation to pitch VNI every time you meet somebody. That's the enemy trying to distract us. Candidly, you're in control. It's your business. Position of strength, happiness, relationships first, always. So decide what you want. Build a list. Share VNI with the list. We talked about that last week. Invite, share, follow up, and then plug them into our system. That's how you build a business. And if your focus is not in those simple areas, then I want to encourage you, get on the phone with me, get with your upline success coach and schedule a call with me. And you go back through the last week's training and today's training multiple times over the next few weeks, and focus on learn, apply, and teach. And I promise you, you're going to be light years. It took me decades to learn this stuff that I'm pouring into you. Decades of banging my head against the wall. Decades of trying to be Frank Sinatra, standing up on the stage saying I did it my way. And you don't have to make all those mistakes. You can go through the learning curve. You guys, many of you have already built a wonderful business. You've already, I mean, look at Ed, Gina, Bender have already created an amazing, huge multi-million-dollar business. But what we're talking about, Ed, Gina, me, and what we're talking about is helping you go to that next level. That's what we want to do. We want to help you go to that next level. I want to help all of you. We're going to create a level that's way higher than Crown Ambassador. And Ed and Gina and I want you, if that's your goal, to be there in the next few years and beyond as we move forward. And I'll help you get there because I've been there. It's hard to teach somebody how to go someplace where we've never been. I've been there. I can help you, and I will help you. That's why we do this. Now, real quick, I'm going to do a screen share, home stretch. I'm going to do a screen share, and this is our wrap up. Okay. There we go. Sorry, y'all. Make sure I do it right. Play from current slide. All right. The 5 most common pitfalls to undermine your business building, your sharing activity. Okay. The 5 most common pitfalls. Number 1, simply not sharing VNI with enough new people on a consistent basis. Okay. This is from 30 years of experience. Number 2, there's no belief when you're sharing. That's part of the reason for staying plugged in. It builds belief. It's part of the reason for the more you use the products, the more you share the products, you're going to accumulate results from your own customers and partners. And that's going to build your belief, not only in the products, but in our mission and what we're doing, how we're helping people. Number 3, talking too much. We've talked a little bit about that, the fire hose example. Okay, say less to more people. Let the tools do the heavy lifting. Let the marketing tools do the lifting. Let the video do the lifting. Don't share. Remember, don't share too much. Don't overload people with information. That's why people have asked, why does the VNI Life app only allow me to share 1 bit of content? We did that on purpose because of number 3. Same concept. If you overload people with too much information, guess what they look at? Nothing. They don't look at anything. If you overload them with too much information, the mindset says, you know what? I don't have time for that. I'll look at it later, and later never comes. Number 4, no follow-up. Okay, that's a common pitfall where you plant good seeds, but you let them wither and die. You don't follow up. And number 5, no consistency. So I've had, in my career, I've had partners engage for a few weeks or a couple days, and then they disappear for a few weeks. And they engage and they disappear. And that's like trying to plant a garden where you go out and you throw some seed in the ground one day, and then you go back the next day and you water, and then you water the next day, and then you take a couple weeks off and you come back and you water, and you take a couple weeks off and then you water 3 days in a row, and then you can't figure out why your garden's got nothing but weeds. That's the same is true in your VNI business. So consistency creates momentum. So the way to turn the lessons from the 5 most common pitfalls is to turn them into action items. Number 1, I'm going to share VNI with new people on a consistent basis. 2 a day, 10 in play, 1 a day, 5 in play. Number 2, I'm going to continue to stay plugged in. I'm going to continue to use these products. I'm going to continue to share these products so that my belief continues to grow as I go through the learning curve. Number 3, I'm going to say less to more people. I'm going to let the tools do the heavy lifting. I'm not going to be afraid of rejection so that I fire hose people and I keep talking, hoping they'll tap out and surrender and say, okay, finally I'll place an order. I surrender. I'm going to have confidence. I'm going to have posture. I know that the VNI products are real. I know that this brand is real. The company's real. 6-year track record, patents, patent pending, 48 peer-reviewed clinical studies. I've got belief. So I don't have to talk too much. I want to focus on them. WIFM, what's in it for me? They're listening to WIFM, so I want to communicate as I share from a perspective of what's in it for them. How can VNI help them get where they want to go? Number 4, I'm going to follow up. Every time I invite and share information, I'm going to follow up within 24 to 48 hours. And then number 5, I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to share, what's your activity plan? I'm going to share VNI with 1 person a day, 5 days a week, 2 people a day, 6 days a week, whatever it is. Have a sharing plan, an activity plan that will help you get where you want to go. Now, I want to wrap up with Actually, I'm going to leave that up for a second real quick. I want to close with this. This is a quick leadership discussion at home stretch. Leadership is all about example, y'all. So do what you want your people to do. Well done is better than well said. But recognize in this business, as you move forward, not when you're brand new, don't get overloaded, but when you move forward and you have a goal, let's say you have a goal to go Envoy and you want to be with Gene and Ed Bender and our other leaders on these trips in the future. How do you create that kind of volume? How do you create multi-$100,000 a month volume, which translates into millions a year in product sales? Well, you recognize that at the end of the day, what you do is important because what you do sets the tone for what you duplicate. Please write that down. What you do, people do what you do, not what you say. Okay, so that's why leadership by example is everything. Well done is better than well said. You want your partners to sponsor new partners, you sponsor new partners. You want your partners to rank advance, you rank advance. The leader sets the pace. The leader of one, leader of many. You can't lead one, you can't lead enter. So we talked last week about self-leadership. So you learn to lead yourself. You lead by example because what we do, we duplicate. Now again, over time, as we're all growing together as leaders, it's all ultimately what you do is important because it's what you duplicate. And it's that duplication that creates volume. Okay, the reason some partners can't duplicate is because they're not doing what I teach. I'm going to be very straightforward. In other words, you can't create duplication if you're never doing the same thing twice. You can't create duplication if you're never doing the same thing the same way twice. You can't create duplication if you're never saying the same thing 2 times in a row the same way. You'll never duplicate because personalities don't duplicate. Charisma doesn't duplicate. My style is not your style. But you know what duplicates? Everything that we've been talking about. Invite, share, follow up. Decide what you want, make a list, invite, share, follow up that list, and plug them into the system. You know what duplicates? Stay plugged in. Do something positive every day. You know what duplicates? The VNI Life App. Anybody can share. Okay? All of this is about duplication. So recognize that what we do, leadership by example, is so important because it's what we duplicate that ultimately creates the volume. So you want to keep it simple. You want to do things consistently. Align yourself with some of the same words and principles of what I've learned along with Ed and Gene over the last 30 years. Folks, if there's too much stuff, if you fire too much information at a new partner, if I'm brand new, remember what I'm asking myself. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Can I do this? And what's in it for me? Okay? If your first training with me as a new partner is to spend 3 hours, I'm making an exaggeration, teaching me the comp plan, and then an hour and a half in the back office, remember what I'm asking myself. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Can I do this? And is this going to help me get where I want to go? I'm going to be saying, I can't do this. I'm working this thing part-time. If every time I bring on a new partner, I got to spend 4.5 hours teaching them on the comp plan in the back office, I can't do this. But if you bring on a new partner and you say, here are the core steps, recognize that you want to build a business, you use the products, you share the products, you teach others to do the same. That's what we do on a daily basis. We keep it simple. Now, to build a business, first thing you do is you decide what you want, you make a list, you share VNI with the people on that list, and you plug those people in the system. Some are going to be customers. The partners that want to build a business, you plug them into our system. Rinse and repeat. That's how you do it. Then I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I can trust you because you really seem to know what you're talking about. I've got fear, doubt, worry, and hesitation, and you're giving me faith, hope, and a plan. You're giving me clarity here. I can trust you. You care about me on it. I can see that. And I think I can do this. And I think I can go out here and I can not only improve my physical health with these products, I can create some income. I can do 2020 is going to be awesome. You see the difference? It's the difference between growth and everything else. It's the difference between growth and everything else. So One of the things you want to duplicate, here's this, and this, we're heading down the home stretch, last couple minutes. You share with me, this is how you build a business. Decide what you want, make a list, invite, share, follow up that list, plug them in the system. And oh, by the way, if you're brand new, you sit down with a partner, that new partner, when you finish your first discussion from when they've placed a product order, you need to say, just like we talked last week, the next step is, I'm your brand new partner. Jeff, the next step is your product's going to be here in a couple days. I'm going to forward you 2 trainings. Okay? The first training is called Creating a Breakthrough 2020, Part 1. The second training is called Creating a Break. What I want to do is I'm going to forward you the first one. And when you're done with it, I want you to take notes, text me or call me, and I'm going to spend a few minutes going through some of the key points that you learned. And then when we do that, I'm going to forward you Creating a Breakthrough 2020 Part 2. You're going to watch that. See, that'll duplicate. Anybody can do that. You're using the tools that are already created. You're leveraging my 30 plus years of experience in this industry as a founding shareholder, as an executive, as a distributor, as a consultant. And you're allowing me to help you train your people. So you plug them into the trainings and you say, all right, it's real simple. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to download the VNI Life app, pull your calendar out. We're going to schedule 2 launch events over the next couple weeks. That's it. Keep it simple. Don't train hours on the comp plan. Don't teach cold calling. Keep it simple. We need to get brand new partners to a point. And if you want to if you've got somebody that's really busy, download the VNI Life app. Talk to them about, decide what you want and build a list. And then for the sharing part, schedule the 2 launch events. So I'll help you onboard partners. But what happens is if you fire hose new partners, remember what they're asking themselves, can I trust you? Do you care about me? Can I do this? And what's in it for me? If you fire hose a brand new partner the first time they place their product order, and sometimes we wonder why people check out and never, it's because they're overloaded. They're asking themselves, can I trust you? Do you care about me? Can I do this? And what's in it for me? And they're not liking the answers to those questions based on what they're seeing, not based on just what you're saying. So the message is keep it simple. The message is keep it simple and leverage launch events if you want to grow fast. Now, stopping the screen share, I want to close with this. Let me find, where are you? Okay, this is a challenge because I'm trying. Oh, I know what I'm doing. Okay, bear with me. It's childproof. Here we go. Let me move this over here where it's not blocking me. And here. All right. Y'all, what I'm going to show you right now is a little bit of dream building, if it's something that's of interest. This time next month, Gene and Ed Bender are going to be all expense paid dream trip to Anguilla. Anguilla is, these are their photos. Let me go back. That's the entrance. It is ranked one of the top 5 beaches on the planet, one of the top 5 spa and retreats on the planet. This is, depending on your vision, this is the Envoy experience, which is going to happen in early February. This is, while the rest of the world, for the most part, is at least our hemisphere, is in winter, ambassador leaders Gina and Ed Bender are going to be on the Envoy expense, all expense paid trip to the Zimmy House Beach and Resort. Check that out. Look at the infinity pool. All expense paid. They don't pay. They're not going to pay for anything. Meals, their luxury hotel, the resort, spa treatment, the whole deal. I don't know how many. Let me find a good one to stop on. I don't want to. I should have prepped, but that's a good one to stop on. So actually, that's blue infinity pool water. Let me find blue beach water. There we go. That's a good one. All right. So here's the idea. For all of us, for you, creating a breakthrough 2020 is to dream it, believe it, and then start taking action every day to achieve it. And what I want to share with you is this is possible for you. I believe in every one of you. You can do this. And the company, the corporate team is everything we do. We get up early and we stay and we work late to help you reach your goals and dreams with VNI. Your upline success coaches are too. But recognize I'm here. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. I'm not an executive that's talking about how to do something I've never done. I am serving you as your president and chief operating officer, coming from a place of building massive businesses around the world as a partner. So along with Gene and Ed Bender, along with Bill and Kim Downs, along with your upline success coaches, I am here and I am 100%, not 99%. I'm 100% committed to helping you reach your goals and dreams. I'm here to help. You can do this and I will help. And let's make 2020 an amazing breakthrough year, folks. I want you to be on the Envoy trip. If that's your goal, I want you to be on with us next year or the year after or the year after that, whatever pace you set for yourself. That blue water, by the grace of God Almighty, is still going to be there. And we want you to be there with us. So thanks so much. Have an awesome day, a great weekend. And let's make January a breakout month for all of us. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye.